Hey everyone, it's Terry Crews here, and Son of Beast here. It's another NHL 26 on EA Sports. As we're nearing down the end of the season, there are 2 more games to go, here for tonight's season of the matchup. Now, this is the next matchup that you're about to be seeing, this rematch, the crazy range between the American versus the Canadian team again. That's right. As you noticed it before, you call this recap between the Habs and the Bruins. They meet again, and now this time, the Bruins are playing at Montreal for the next part of the game of the NHL Best Rival Game in Game 15. And tonight's starting goaltenders for the Habs is Sam Montembeault, and for the Bruins is Jeremy Swayman. These are one of the baddest of the matchups, but you're about to be seeing things right across from the other side of the alley. And here are the starting players here for the start of the Boston Bruins. This is one of the most takeables that you might be missing things out. The start off for David Pastrnak is the quick release in the 1T, also along with the ankle breaker. Charlie McAvoy with the only true lensless and stick 'em up ability. He only does this to make this one part of it professionally to keep the game in from going. Then, Hampus Lindholm with Illy Edges and Send It. The quick pick is really what they all takes to make the matter a fact. Then, we have it across as Nikita Zadorov, the other side of his zone, for a true lensless shoulder checks. Pavel Zacha with only the spit grig and a big tipper. Morgan Geekie with only the pressure T. Then it's Jeremy Swayman, the starting goaltender, with the showstopper. Then it's Elias Lindholm with the quick draw and no contest. And finally, we have is Casey Middlestad, owner of our own tape-to-tape zones, to have the ability. And now let's go over to the other side of it as Montreal Habs brings Nick Suzuki, the ultimate captain for the Canadians, as he makes his tape-to-tape zones with the powerful and precise passes, along with the quick picks, effortless interceptions, and pickups. No contest also does with the puck battling and the strength. Then across from here is Cole Caulfield. He only does this to give this a good effort with 1T and some pressures. That's not all that he had just changed for, but that makes it only one to have it joined all. Then it's Noah Dobson, Illy Edges and Tape to Tape zones. Lane Hudson, only the one with the Illy Edges to send it and tape to tape zones. Michael Matheson with only Illy Edges in the second win, the relentless hit. Ivan Demidov with only the quick release and the ankle breaker. Then it's Patrick Laine with only 1T and the pressure. Then it's Jurgov Slafkovsky, quick release and unstoppable force. Then it's Phil Denault from the Los Angeles Kings, quick draw and quick fix. And then we have is Brendan Gallagher with the spark plug, and last but not least is Arbor Jack Guy. That's his name, the Jack Guy into one makes Illy Edges and True Lensless kit. So that's it for the lineups. It's now time to get you down to Montreal. Tonight's starting commentators, I have it across, is Zoe Troop, along with others with John, and the fur commentary in the center box is Union Jackie. Intermissions are going to be underway soon, and we'll see what goes next. Now, prepare for the matchup as the Bruins and Habs face against each other on EA Sports. And it's next after this. See you later for the intermission and a post-game show. And all that goes in. The rivalry between the Bruins and the Habs of the NHL and EA Sports. Good evening, everyone. It's Zoe Troop, and I'm here my broadcast partner along with the other ones, with John and the fur commentary Union Jackie. This is NHL Hockey on EA Sports. Tonight's starting goaltender we have across is Sam Montembeault, and for the Boston Bruins is Jeremy Swayman. Start things off, we have a Nick Suzuki. We'll have a look to Cole Caulfield. He looks to Texier to get to Matheson. Pass off to Texier. You'll start things off. And right around the dash is Thompson. And as now the Habs keep moving the puck in forward, here's Thompson and a shot. Quick release, saved by Swayman. Just to start of the first shot on goal. Nothing here for Boston. As Jeremy Swayman makes his first save of the night. What we talked about in the range is Zacha and Kapanen. Now one of the best of the face-off position gives us a hugest of the credit. The last time that the Habs played against the Oilers, it wasn't enough as Leon Draisaitl edges it off to make that win, as the Habs couldn't get a reset back. Well, something about that, and being honestly for the Edmonton Oilers, they really are starting to make that mess up. This really could definitely make a sequence that it may hurt. For most of each, it's not just a break, it's a simple way to do for the Habs. That really makes us really hard and made it bad for them. There's one way that they need to do for. They have to watch where they're grouping in. That almost makes the puck control to make that loose. And when it turns it over, that's going to make that go with another goal. Domino shot saved by Swayman on a glove catch as Charlie McAvoy now sets it over to Casey Middlestad. Casey Middlestad just lost that puck, and now here's Slafkovsky. As Slafkovsky's right into the Bruins territory, he gives it off to Carrier, and he looks over to Kapanen. As Spurry Kapanen to find Slafkovsky, finding Hudson. Hudson moves it, saved by Swayman. 16:24 to go. On the start of the first period, as he makes another save in the game. Just one of the big runs to take. The Habs are one of the best over the Boston Bruins, but the Bruins in Boston are better than Montreal Habs. And they don't really agree with the pressure is on that. They really don't think that this is the right call to give it all they can, but why not? Well, I'll tell you what, why not it is. When the Habs definitely need to give this a huge credit, they make that one hurt. And something bad that they did, they don't seem to care about it. They really make that really felt hurt. And most likely the Montreal Habs are definitely one of the better teams than the others. Now this is one of the crossing that they have to do to make sure they have the right
Boston
potential
penalty number 11,
to make
2
that
minutes for cross-checking.
First penalty is going to be on Casey Middlestad as he's in the penalty box. Knocked the player over. And this will be the first power play to start for the Habs. Habs starts their first power play advantage as now Nick Suzuki and Corrali with the puck drop. And now this will be the win. Power plays on for the Montreal Canadiens. Montreal Canadiens got to start things off, and they need to get this with a huge effort straight. What needs to be setting things done is that Cole Caulfield is going to get that power play effort. They're going to need to start making this way with a new change. Give it a good look. Nick Suzuki with a nice cut change. Suzuki spins around off the defender and rebound by Slafkovsky. Here's Hudson. Makes him knock down, and as Corrali goes the other way, he'll dump that out. Behind the back is Corrali. Cole Caulfield will now send a deep pass to Slafkovsky. The Habs are back in the offense zone. Caulfield now finding the Texier. Texier looks to Caulfield, and now back to Hudson. Hudson tries on a shot, big save by Swayman. 4-6 remaining in the first period, and they'll get ready for another puck drop. Just look at how much that Jeremy Swayman makes. And after this spin from Suzuki, that's where that stops. Look this happened with the lonely last play. He only has to assist with only the showstopper. He really would have to give it a huge credit, but it doesn't make that pass to get that one with a good look to have that first goal. That really makes it turn the other way, and that may have been a hurt to keep that one out of trouble. Kapanen wins the face-off, and now his bulldog gives it to Thompson. Thompson moves it, shot on a save again by Swayman. Rebound by the Habs. And puck goes out of here, and now here's Mitten, as now the Boston Bruins will take things over. Casey Middlestad's almost ready to get back out there. Kapanen keeps his own around the net, and the power play is over for the Montreal Canadiens. They're 0 for 1. They don't start off absolutely, and what necessary happens with only Swayman. That makes it with the first of the save in this one of his night. That can only just get one credit for the goaltender for the Boston Bruins. They really got a great start with the first save for starting off to kill the power play. They don't have the better effort. They had that one looking between. They got a good, comfortable lead-off to have it all, but that didn't really make a good communication afterwards for the Boston Bruins. with a hit by Casey Middleton. Montreal back in offense in the Boston territory, and now it's right behind the net. He finds Jeanette. Jeanette lost that one. Here's a rebound by Texier, and now it's given away by Minton. Minton's right in the other way, and that one is poked it. Thompson will get a rebound here. At that time, he will send it off to Bulldog. Bulldog will swing it again to Kapanen. Here's a chance on the bank. Pass right to middle, scores! With first goal one time, it's Geyer. Habs strike first in the first period. Just one pass and you gotta look for it, and this is right in the middle. And watch how that pass gets to Geyer. That's the first goal when you have to get that slick. And pass to Jeremy Swayman, and then whenever Gallagher had that room, this is where the shot hits right into the net. That first start off gets a glance, and that really missed it. That one makes a great save at this impact to have that one keeping it out. That really gets out with the first goal. Collier with the first goal of the night. 11:30 remaining is the time of the goal, 8:30. Now here's the win for Boston Bruins. It's Demidov the other way. Sends a pass around the net. That pokes it out. Here's Demidov finding again. The outside look. Gives up to Carrier to find Hudson. Hudson looks to Carrier, and he now has swings to Demidov. Hudson with the shot. Saved by Swayman. Just past the midway mark, nearing the midway mark in the first period. And we'll get another puck drop ready. Now a chance over to center ice. I'll now have a Union Jockey for Nick Suzuki, the captain for Montreal. Thanks, folks. About what happens with only Nick Suzuki. He makes a no-contest ability. He only makes it with the hugest of the sight. It's greatness to sight and a witness for Nick Suzuki. He's one of the best players of this offensive zone. He's really like the one champ to be here. When Nick Suzuki plays all of his confidently, he really has shown it with some great percentage. This is one of his striking of his first appearance for Nick Suzuki. He has started off to make that great appearances for his great pass on the assist, and he has shown things right away. I'll be talking about this one more for Nick Suzuki. He's fine to give that one a good open message to have it clear to have to start with a 1-0 lead, but there might be more to have another goal coming down. We'll see how that goes by. Back to you. Thank you, Zone Troop. That's now for Union Jackie. But calling for Nick Suzuki. We'll see how he can handle it. And a save by Swayman. This will stop and freeze the play under 9 minutes in the first. Let's go the other way. This time back to the Union Jackie. And here's Ford and the one chance, David Pastrnak. David Pastrnak is one of the huge eyes of the tanking zones, and now the captain for the Boston Bruins. He really has given some a hugest on the credit that everyone stands up. What David Pastrnak really makes it the zone use is the pressure. It's greatness to keep things on with the next ability. The stride, the standard, it's really one of great appearances to have David Pastrnak up to run. This is why the captain really makes it all of a great use of energy, but it's more likely to have it all. I'll be watching on this one here for David Pastrnak and see how he handles it off with a huge dipper in the chain. Back to you, Zertrude. Thanks, Union Jackie again. Now here's goal with under 7:30 remaining the first period. And here's goal now, find Anderson. On a shot, off the face mask, and it's stopped by Swayman. 7:21 remaining the first period, as he'll get ready for another puck drop. Just looking at Demidov, only the chance makes is just the deeks and the sharp, illy edges. I don't see any message to give that clear, but it looks like they might be just confirming it, and it might be just enough time to expire. Well, it may happen with only that. I don't think that Demidov would have the right choice to do for. They're going to need to try and keep moving again. Here's Kasperi Kapanen. No cut motion here. Demidov has it again to Matheson. Back to Thompson. Thompson looks to Matheson. On a shot blocked and rebound by Kapanen. Chance for Demidov and a save by Swayman. Morgan Geeky the other way for the Boston Bruins. As now in the Habs territory. Broken it up. Thompson gets to Kapanen. In middle, Demidov. Tornisakowski broken up the pass play. And now Matheson finding Thompson. That's to Matheson. A shot save up by the goaltender. Bogan Geeky to pass. Davidoff gives it away. New line group change for Montreal Canadiens. And Kapanen right to the wall. He finds Matheson fighting to Dodge. Dodge kicks it to Matheson. Right to wrist on a shot. Another save off by Swayman. 5 minutes in the first period. And it's Dobson with the rebound. And it's back to Castelli. Here's the chance for the first motion. Saved by Montreal. Dobson finds Evans. Now he will give it clear to Dodge. And that dumps it in his zone. And to Slingholm, find off to Castelli. And Jeanette. The pass is broken by Zach Bolduc. He goes down. Helmet's out. He rushes toward the bench with a dirty hit. Nasty play doesn't really make it no concern. That gives it enough to make the momentum, and that could definitely hurt almost every time. Castelli behind the net. Now it's back to Cole Caulfield. He pushes it. Jeanette can't get a clear out, and they still won't have the chance to get it cleared out. Hudson will dump that in. And as the Boston Bruins will have a new line group change, here's Ismail to pass again to McAvoy. Again to Castelli to get to Jeanette. And he will tip it, and this one will sit into the bleachers out of play. What this big hit really only makes that one worse, and watch what this makes it in. That big tipper, you almost had that one with a chance for the Canadiens. And then this is where it almost turns into be a goal. Watch what happens with Montembeault. He really made that one clearly, and he had that one with the wild save. You don't see how Montembeault was able to train hard. That's communication. A lot of dedication needed to be trained easy, and what they need to do for Montembeault, get a clear stop. That's one of the great saves to stop on Castelli. Cole Caulfield finding the Texier, and it's given a quick pick, and then pass broken out. Millsac's shot save up by Montembeault. Goal send pass to Texier. Here's another chance to Suzuki. The other way. And pass to Texier. Backhander save up by Swayman. 2:01 remaining in the first period. And they'll be ready to have its reinforcement center gliding in for the puck drop. 1-0 lead score is the Habs. Zonka wins the faceoff, and here's Luray. And now into the Habs territory is Luray. Luray pass, shot, glove save, and Montembeault. 1:40 remaining in the first period. Montembeault will tighten things up a little bit, and he'll have another puck drop ready. 88/78 with a great start for the Montreal Habs as we're nearing the final minute. Phil Deneau wins the faceoff. And here's Skoll the other way now. Pass off to Deneau. A slick off to that guy. The Gullier can't get it off as now Zadorov fighting to Middlestad. Middlestad, what a quick motion, and Jacky got a piece. Just final minute in the first period, and Deneau will find Gullier to give the pass to Anderson. Anderson fires that one around the net. And here's Pete. It's back to Anderson. Backhander got tucked up by the Bruins defender. And Azaka in front is the door off. Well, they almost could have that perfect passage to have that backhand shot. It wasn't quite close enough. That really gives that one with the stick cut. And now he had to turn it over the other way. Dobson will find Kapanen. He'll clear it out. And that will end the first period here. 1-0 to score as Geier with the goal. They stay alive, and with a huge save between Montembeault and Swayman. Second period is coming up next when we return to hockey on EA Sports. Be back soon. Hey folks, welcome to the first intermission of the NHL on EA Sports. Terry Crews and Son of Beast Skier, a tight matchup in the rival game, happened to be only one shot for the goal to have that answer, and as Gullier has his first goal of the night. And here are the action trackers. There's a lot of hits here and some face-offs that wasn't clearly going to be enough, but that goal only made that change to have it defer. And after the first period, 15 over 5 shots on goal for Montreal, 10 hits over 6 for Boston Bruins, 6:40 time on attack over 37. 87/76 passing effectiveness for Montreal Habs. Then both teams have 6 face-off wins. 1 penalty kill made it up with Casey Middlestat with a 2-minute penalty on the cross-checking, and 1 power play advantage wasn't enough. And they only had to do it with a next set to see if there is a power play effort between the both teams. Now over to you, Terry, to start off for Montreal. They got a good start. What do you say about that?
I've got a great feeling. Montreal Canadiens got a great start. They're just doing comfortably well to get that one a first goal effort, as with the chance made on a stop by Montembeault. This is one of the heaviest matchup as ever facing off in the wild card and in the division spot. That's definitely what I was really noticing about how they're definitely doing this. That could definitely be almost like how hard it is, but playing off that great improvement wasn't great enough. You might have to change it up for Montreal Habs to have that nice release effort. That first goal was a great pass by Kapanen, and you have that great afterwards to have Gollier with the shot. That's first goal for the Habs. Now to you, Senate Beast, for Boston Bruins.
Well, Boston Bruins really had a lot of hit. It's major appearances. It's not a clean start in the first period. But hey, let's fix this. For the second period, they're going to have to find an answer back if they wanted to get up and control it. It may not be possible enough, but that may be the big hit to try to keep that one in. And we'll have to find out how they will respond to this answer for the second period.
Alright, so I bet that might be the only one thing, but we'll see what happens with this one here, Senate Beast. I think this competition is going to be exciting. We end the first intermission here as we return to Montreal. As right now, Zoe Troop is ready for us for the second period.
And we'll see you back later for the second intermission, where the next goal or stays even to have a 1-0 lead.
Now back to Montreal.
We're back in Montreal, and we're ready for the second period at the start of the game. The rivalry continues as you're ready for the second period. It's great to be starting off with the rival of the hockey game here at Game 15 at Century Bell. I'll now send it over to you, John. See how they were managing to keep it up. Well, to start off, that happens with only one option, and there's one thing I have to find out for. The Mason and one of the Suzuki, there's one way that we're watching this on. And as for Golfer, he had that one with the first part of his own goal. The last time they had it was Noah Dobson. That was the start of it that they really have been watching it off. Clearly, there is one way that they were trying to keep that one out. That simple was really enough. And playing it optimally was really the hard pick-off chain to give that a great look. Now, sometimes there's no offense to beat there, but you got to be making sure you're really up to the catch. That one happens to be Pasternak's. They're really trying to make a regroup. They got to start finding a way to have them heavy hits on them down there. Here's Suzuki and Shaw. Walker saved up by Swayman. Textier rebounds it. Now finds Carrier. Here's Hudson now finding to Carrier again. Moves over now finding to Textier. And Caulfield in corner. Try to battle it out of here. And that's Carrier. One-time Cole Caulfield shot, close save by Swayman. They'll keep the play going with only 17:10 remaining in the second. New line group change for the Habs as Hudson's back out there and Kapanen with him. Send it deep over to Davidoff. Goes to Sikorsky on the shot, picked up, and it's stopped by Swayman. Swayman makes a timing effort to try to keep the puck alive. Look out going in the net. So lots of effort here for the Habs and the Bruins. 1-0 to score. As now Pavel wins the faceoff. Here's Middlestat. Right to wing and a shot clogging over the save by Montembeault. Kasperi Kapanen now has it again to Davidoff. Now back in the Bruins territory is Davidoff. And Sikorsky now finding the Carrier. Here's Hudson to find over to Sikorsky. Carrier. Hudson shoots. Now a save up by Swayman. Swayman's getting a little bit of a higher range afterward. And there's a spot on to give that one with Swayman. They have that great save. This is one of a poking inbounding to have that post-to-post stoppage. Here's Demidov, the back again to Sikorsky. He fires another save by Swayman. 15 minutes remaining the second period. They'll have another puck drop ready. Still looking for an official to give that one a goal for the Bruins, but it's still 1-0. Habs. Now the win for the Evans as now it gives to Matheson. Goes to Polguk. Behind Evans on a shot. Tries for a squeeze for the backhand, but it's just denied by the goaltender. He dumps that one around the net. Now here's Michael Matheson. Still no score of the game. He tries to look for an open pass to Noah Dobson, and the puck winds all the way to Dutch. Dutch! And that gives it away by Michael Isamount. He dumps that zone around the net, and Michael Matheson, the pass back to Kirby Dutch. Isamount gives it over, now finding to Kushyanov. On a shot, that one is blocked and carried over, now finding to Dutch. And there's a little bit of a heavy hit here in the Habs territory, finding Anderson, and another one hits down. Oh, that makes it unstable. That really may have gotten hit. That really does not stand out the right way to get through. That really makes him hurt. They're definitely trying to make that Bruin attacker. They wanted to let him go down. Another set to Dodge. Lost that puck control. Now has it again for Lindholm. And the Boston Bruins will have it again to Millside. Pass off to Jeanette. Here's Jeanette. Lost it again. And here's Gold. Collier. Back in the center territory. Lorette. Casey Middlestad. Watching it carefully. Now finding the Lindholm. Hampus Lindholm. The pass is broken by Denault. Tries to watch for Jeanette. Mitten. Shot blocked down by Denault. And it now finds Gold the other way. What a job blocking shot this afterwards. You see that Philip Denault? That was a great blockage effort. That pass to Collier is broken up, and Zadorov did the other way. Mitten will take it offside with only 11:27 remaining in the second period. Just look at how when you're able to have that advantage. When Mitten was right after it, that makes a hard hit. That one goes with the smackdown. I was sure that Mitten was really came into a huge, hard effort. That maintains it. Does he get the right speed? Nothing happens. As the win will be on Casey Middlestad as Lindholm wins the draw. Kicked out by Montembeault. And goes over to Nick Suzuki. Nick Suzuki waiting impatiently now around the net. Cole Caulfield outside now. Elver again to Dobson. Perrier finding Hudson. Here's Caulfield. Big save kicked out by the goaltender. Next year finding to Carrier. He looks off to Suzuki. Suzuki get to Carrier. Caulfield shot. Another save by Swayman. 10:24 to go in the second period. We'll get our puck drop ready. Montembeault and Swayman are tied his effort. Only one goal has made for Montreal and no goals made for Boston. Suzuki wins. Fixture shot blocked. Rebound by Caulfield. And it's given by Suzuki. Suzuki rebounds again by Carrier. Texier. Outside Suzuki shot saved off by Swayman. 9:51 to go past the midway mark in the mid-period. And they're still looking for a 2-0 lead for Montreal. A lot of shots happened with only just one. No patient offense happens. 24/8. That's big shots on goal for Montreal. They're really up to the hustle. Here comes the big break attack. And it gives him the other way. Now finding Caulfield. Cole Caulfield. Move around in. That is off a defender. And it's off of Swayman. And goes with another glove catch. And this will stop him play. Still looking for an extra chance in the feed. As he's spotting over Nick Suzuki. Playing well tonight. But his face-off might be crucial. And Corelli the other way. He dumps it around the net. And now Texier will have a swing off to Carrier. Carrier went down. Texier the other way. Pass it back to Suzuki. Suzuki. Oh, he could have had to give it to Caulfield with the goal. But that pass was off the target. The timing was really off to it. And you're not really giving it a better effort. Nick Suzuki was trying to able to have that pass afterward. He was really not able to keep that in his zone. That range may have stopped it, but it just did not really have the right response afterwards. And you're really up to hurry. You just need to make sure you're really up to care for it.
for the big impact. On the one passing effect and then the other. Noah Dobson with only 7:47 to go in the second period. He now deeps it past to Davidov. Davidov is going to go all alone. And stopped by Swayman. Gasperi Kapanen would have had a great chance with the goal, but that one denies it. And what happened with only one happened with the Zadorov. He really had that one speeding it down, and then this pass, that one is really making a miss. That really was over it, and then past the Caulfield, and he just did not have the right good look at the angle. He's not looking at a clear effort, and that one really missed it. And now enough face-off win opponents, 10/9 for Boston Bruins. Evans wins the draw, and now Nicholson. Dobson finds again like Kirby Dodge. Dodge toward middle. Give a rebound by Dodge, over to almost a turnover, and Dodge finding Bulldog. Dodge gets back to Dobson. Dobson, glove save by Swayman. 6:42 remaining in the second period, and they'll be able to have another puck drop running. Centers glided in. Now a 10-10 face-off wins. Looks for a lead, if any. And Evans wins a draw. It's a back-to-back winning face-off puck drop, and now they have the lead. Here's goal. The pass to Bulldog. Outside, Jackeye. Fire! Saved up by Swayman. Now it's away for the Boston Bruins as Pavelzaka gives to Arvidsson. It's broken it up, and now Evans will have the rest of it to piece it out. And Bulldog will dump that zone out. New line group change here for Montreal Habs. As this will be now Middlestad back on ice. Stopping on Jackeye, and now Cole will have it the other way. Pass back to Anderson. No offside for the Habs. Here's Cole. Chance to Jackeye shot. Glove saved again. Now it's Lindholm. He will send a deep pass to Arvidsson. Oh, Trelonsis big hit. That makes him smack him down. Well, you got to get that smack down afterward. That Trelonsis is going to make that one pay back. Now here's Middlestad. The other way it goes now for the Boston Bruins. Zaka in the wing. Zaka up and kick pass saved up by Montembeault. Goaler. A pass to Anderson. Anderson waits. Now back to Hudson. Back on ice. Hudson with no chance to be making the cut. Finding again to Carrier. Lukovsky Hudson. He shoots. Goes out for Demonov, and he'll have a reset again. And Carrier finds off to Kapanen. Looks over now finding Lukovsky. Lukovsky shot. Never saved by Swayman. Rebounded up by the Habs. Full pressure's on. Carrier. Deflected goes off its soon target. And Antus Lindholm has it again to Casey Middlestad with only 3 minutes to go in a second. Michael Iserman goes with the early edge again. Kapanen again to Carrier. And there's another one to Davidoff. Canadians are back in the Bruins territory. Hudson. Again to Sikorsky. That one just goes outside of the zone. And Carrier with a new regroup. Back to Sikorsky. Right toward middle. Give it over to Carrier. No penalty on Boston. Now here comes Suzuki back on ice. He wipes down and he goes with a hit on a bang. That makes him hurt to give him out. Glove save by Swayman. Stopping the play with only 90 seconds in the second period. After all that happened with only Jackeye, it only makes a tremendous hit. That makes him right toward near the bench. That one really makes it hurt. And you just really had that one going on. To Arvidsson, he makes it a wham. And that one really made him hurt. Jackeye had a little bit of a Jackeye on the slam, and target hits the spot. Suzuki wins the draw. Thompson, he shoots, another save by Swayman. Texier again. Suzuki shoots, blocked. Carrier back to Suzuki. Looks to Davison. Just 1 minute remaining in the second period. Texier shot. Another one's blocked. Not a new contest as he on the way for Elias Lindholm. Off to Caulfield. And now Davison will have a change over to Caulfield. Goes tumbled. Swings a pass. Davison. Pass back to Evans. Evans looks at Dobson. Here comes Caulfield. Back to Esperon. 15 seconds remaining. Pastrnak's looking for a chance to take the tie. He made a shot. Saved by Montemol. Kicks off. And Matheson is behind the cage. And that'll end the second period. Tigers goaltenders after. And the big hit makes a rumble down. Only 1-0. No score for the lead. Be back with you soon for another change, and we'll see how the Bruins will answer for the Habs tonight after this.
Hey everyone, welcome to the second intermission of the NHL 26 on EA Sports. Contest matchup, really going to be a hard face-off afterwards, but didn't really think it was going to be appealing than that. So after the second period, here's how they did. 32 of our 11 total shots on goal for Montreal. They're trying to wipe on Boston Bruins since the game of the night matchups of the rivalry wasn't really enough to make that effort. And it was 26 over 11 hits for Boston Bruins on a hit. 12-27 over 120 time on attack for Montreal. Then it was 86 over 84 passing effectiveness for Montreal. Then 12 over 10 face-off wins for Montreal. And only 2-minute penalty kill with no power play goal. Well, this may have been just how hard it's going to get. But let's have over to you, Son of Beast, for Boston Bruins. The Bruins really had making a sweat down. There's a lot of big hits afterwards. Nobody was given the full credit on this because the Boston was really up to the challenge. They wanted to take a charge on attack. That makes him a little like a hardest way to go with the Patriot. And then when you're building an assault on that, that makes them go down. And that makes them hurt a lot of advantage. I mean, there's no question with that, but that really had a hard impacting to give that one out of here. This is definitely going to make that one haunting the dreams out of anyone if they're going to try to stop on him. Now let's go over to you, Terry Crews, for Montreal Habs. Well, the Canadians really had that one with the pressuring in. There's no way to give that young effort to have it all completely down into a bout. I mean, I would love to see how Nick Suzuki was trying to give it another great effort. You know, this part of the goal really turned it over. By the other way, I mean, that was really hard and they were going to try to pick it off. Nothing is simple, but you get it. It just made that one improvable to have that stopping advantage to have some another goal effort. Maybe the Habs might win, or the Bruins will take over. So that is it for the second intermission, and it seemed like that there might be an answer back for Boston, but we'll have to wait for it soon if there's an answer in the third period. But anyway, let's go right into the third period and finish things off. Back over to you, Zo Truth. See you later after the game. Well, it all comes down to this. Just 1-0 in the third period. We are ready to go. Third period begins now, and we are back at Century Bell. Let's do it. All right, buds. As for you, John, let's check out how they did here in the second period, as Boston had a lot of attacks. Well, a lot of attackers afterwardly, and there is not a separation as going in for the offense and the defensive struggle. This one rumbles a takedown, and afterward there's a lot of mental issue going on. And with this comfortable leading scores, it happened with only one. And David Pastrnak really could have noticed that this was his quote. He was able to try to smack someone down, and he wanted to have his own goal to get their teams to a tying range. This may not be the better choice afterward, but as you can tell, that this doesn't really make that a great effort to keep things from out. This is a hard struggle. Nothing sense there now, but as you can tell about Jeremy Swayman, it wasn't really giving all they got. But there's a lot of big hits here for Boston Bruins for tonight. Had to see it to believe it. Just have a look at the great saves afterwards. Jeremy Swayman was the best goaltender of the night, showing some showstoppers here with only 32 saves in a game, and he really has done it all. This one is a great effort to keep it from going. Still a lot of time left in the period. 18:34 remaining in the go in the third period, as there's still lots of time left for Boston to get a tying range. And here comes David Pastrnak. Shot saved off by Montemol.
Here's Textier. The pass down finding Dobson as the Habs back into work. Suzuki finding Caulfield. Looks to Matheson finding Suzuki. Try to get away from Pasternak's. Suzuki. Rebound by Caulfield. Lost control and it's rebounded by McAvoy. McAvoy. Got a hold on the boards. And it's back to McAvoy. Not a no contest. Back to Lindholm to Pasternak's. Bruins back in. McAvoy's shot blocked by Caulfield. A save by Montembeault. Montembeault will hold this here with only 16:54 remaining in the third period. So now it's 87 over 82. A little bit of a percentage downwards here as the Habs trying to get that one out of the way. Now to win. Here's Hudson behind the cage. And now he'll have it over to deep the zone to Demidov. Demidov, he wipes down. No penalty on Boston. Well, he had a lot of big kick afterward. That really is going to make that one mesh up. This doesn't really make that answer, but you really are going to have to watch it on a time effortlessly to have that change. Unleash it. Zakowski. Shot saved by Swayman. Demidov again to Carrier. Back on ice is Evans. Here's another one to Zakowski. Shires it. Rebound and scores! Someone shows rebounds, and you don't give it credit without the tip back in. Lane Hudson. First goal, and now up for two. Lane Hudson really had showing it off, and look at this piece behind the net. He really just had a great look, and now this one goes back in, and when you get to Lane Hudson, that rebound was really going to be picked back in. That really makes a beat. You just really did not see it. And watch what Lane Hudson made. He had a little bit of a cut move, and then go back in the net. That one made a great rebound. Montreal up by 2. And 2-0 lead over Boston. Now the win for Evans, and now here's Chakai finding the Dutch. Dutch goes right around the other way, and Bolduc has that pass to goal. And another one to Chakai. Chakai the pass to Evans. He looks to Chakai, now finding the goal. And broken up as Casey Middlesack answers it out. And now here's Hermanson. It's given away by Kirby Dutch. Dutch hits it around the net. And goal. Again to Bolduc. Bolduc to Chakai. That stick lifted, and it's Jeanette the other way. Try to kick that one back in, but it's now taken out as Mitten in the corner. Mitten gives it around the wall. Middlesack trying to get away from the defenders. Outside, the no shoot save up and goal back to Danault. Well, that'll have a big reaction afterward. Danault's really trying to give that one an extra care. That doesn't going to make that one feel good if you're going to get that pressure in offense. Here's Jeanette, the pass to Mitten, shot, and another save by Montembeault. Another one to Anderson. Habs back in the Boston territory. They're now finding Carrier. It's Anderson. Anderson has it here to Carrier. And DQ takes it out. One-on-one fast break. And given away by Hudson. Clears his own out. Charlie McAvoy will now have it the other way. And pass kicked his own to Jeanette. Here's another one of DQ. And that goes back to Carrier. Around the back of the net. And filling it out. We'll have it back to Carrier to get to Collier. Collier now have it again. Now finding Anderson. Collier shoots, save by Swayman. And Montes came to Lindholm. And back to Collier. He wants to take the one shot. Stopped by Swayman. Anderson would have the one-time effort, but he was denied. And another save by Swayman. Goes for Anderson. Back behind the cage. Kicks around the net. It's back to Jeanette. What a save on that. That really just going to make one-timing effort to have that one loose of the chain. But that really stays up with the wheels. He was really up and trying to make that heartbeat to reach the stamina. He would have a lot of it of a win of a room to keep that second win back in again. Puck goes out of here. Now the reset his zone will be Cole Caulfield. And here's another set to Suzuki. 10-12 remaining. as we pass the midway mark in the third. Texier gives the pass over to Matheson. Thompson the fast to Suzuki. It's back to Caulfield. Here's Suzuki. Chance to play on the boundary as another stop one by Swayman. Zadorov's shot's blocked. And back outside, it will be Boston. Pavel Zacha fighting Anderson. Arvidsson, and a shot, never save Zacha, and stop by Montembeault. 9:08 to go in the third period. They'll take a deep breath, and they'll get ready for their puck drop. Just watch what happens with the only last play afterwards. When Lane Hudson only makes this, he just had so many attempts. And one thing that's always important to keep an eye on is Lane Hudson waiting for a screen, and then watch this happen right in the net. It goes here for behind, and then this backhand goes back in the net. You don't really see how Lane Hudson did, but that really makes another point, and right behind Cole Caulfield. He really had that one absolutely insane. Now that really makes it a rebound. He's trying to get for 2 goals. They're hoping to get one to keep the pressure off against offense. Damn it off, here he comes! Save by Swayman. And now the other way to Matheson. He looks to Kapanen, now flying to Thompson. Thompson looks over to Matheson. Inbounding. It's taken away by Victor Arvidsson. 8:30 remaining the third. And Middleset will have it out in the wing. Pass to Peak. Peak shoots off a deflection of stick. And Sikorsky will have it to Jackeye. Jackeye will swing to Matheson. Give it over to Kapanen. Kapanen waiting for a room. That one's taken away by Isamel. Good stick tied up to release. And now it's Isamel the other way. Pass right to Peak. Peak shoots, and there will be a delay penalty. That's going to be Jackeye with the first penalty kill on the
Montreal,
Hawks.
number 72.
Look what happened with this one. You got a great defender, but you got a problem with that. And Jackeye really waited too much rushing forward contact. That really makes him wipe out. Now this will be the first penalty kill. And there will be just start now for Boston. Let's find there is a power play effort. Power play will start in for Boston Bruins. And now this will be the first penalty kill on Montreal. Montreal's got to watch out, because if they don't play absolutely like playing it for real, they got to watch where they're going. Don't play it off when you're doing that on the hard range. And here's Morgan Gilly to pass over. That's a 6-second out. And that one will dump in his own, deep in his own. Swayman with the save. Transfer short and the goal has been too short. Just looking at Elias Lindholm, the only one base was a quick draw release. I mean, you got to give a watching credit for the quick draw for Elias Lindholm, and he does. That's another winning face-off puck drop for the Boston Bruins. Well, that really almost makes that one settled in there. He wasn't really happy enough to have his own percentage to have that great goal effort, but that was a lot of technique. I don't really see anything, but that really is going to have able to hurt if you'll take the bite of the dust swinging in for it. Carrier will clear that zone, helping to Matheson with under a minute for the Boston power play. Now here's another set for Zacha. Zacha with the swing to mitten. Off it goes with the mitten. Carrier trying to kick it out. And it's given away by Denault. Here's Zacha. And Carrier. Back in his zone. He's still going to keep it out. Geeky shoots up. Saved by Montembeault. And it's shots blocked. Trying to get it in. Matheson clears it. Can't get it back. Here's Geeky the mitten. Outside Pasternak and a shot. Never saved by Montembeault. Clears it. Habs goes wild. Power play's over. What a great saving effort. Montembeault was able to kick the pick out, and that save was really up to it. Most importantly, it was not a great effort, and there was too many attempts, and they couldn't clear this out. But now, as you know, Montembeault, he's really able to have this nice save. What a great comeback. Pass under 5 minutes remaining, presented by Discover. And Montembeault will try to keep it tight with 4:47 remaining in the third. And joining us for the last game for the season, and this will be all for finishing in Detroit, to have our last game of the night. With this one,
Rangers face against the other team, the Detroit Red Wings. This will be the last part of the game, and before the coverage continues here for a game of the night, it will be the playoffs, and that will be the next one to keep underway. Be sure to stick around here for the final game of the NHL 26. If you like it so far, this will be a new future for you if we pass 1,000. Make sure to keep hitting that subscribe button and stay up to date by hitting the notification bell. You'll never know when it comes up with a Popper's new videos and his content, and this will be all for anybody. If you don't, somebody will do it. Now here's Morgan Geeky as we're nearing down to 3:40 remaining in the third. Now Matheson. It's off again. Matheson, Thompson, and back to dash again to Bolduc. Now here's Luray finding the Lindholm. Lindholm, watch him, saved by Montreal. Thompson, oh, he wanted to have a little bit of a slip. Pasternak up, and saved by Montreal. Oh, what a great goaltender of the night. And as Montreal is saving his day, he's trying to keep that out. Now let's go over to center ice, and now send over to Eugene Jackie. Thanks, folks, about what is happening right now and what we're noticing about Montreal. He had a crazy size in the game. Now he's picking his perfectionary, and he's doing so well, confidently. He definitely done everything that he did. And he scores, wow. Casey Middlestat had that one with a great effort, and now they're already on the board. Yeah, they did. I mean, that might be only one thing that Casey Middlestat had to battle for it, and they got themselves late before the end of the third period. You know, just like that, when you're really up to it, and that bounce play, it goes right behind the net. And when Middlestat, he really had, when looking up on the backhand, the puck was flying, and it just gets off the skate on the back. That makes a creative and a save, and it's magic bounce behind in front of net, and it goes over and under, and now that goes back in the net. He tried to get that one out, but it was too late. So yeah, that was another oopsie mistake here, and if we're just nearing down the end of the third period, I think there might be only one thing that we're all going to talk about is Montebo. He's making a great save, and he's showing up with his crowd. This might be all for anyone that's got it. I'm watching on Sam Montebo to see how he has. Back to you, so true. Thanks, Jackie. Now back again to Davidoff with under 2 minutes remaining in the first. I don't know what sets the goal. Second shot, he throws the pipe, and knocked the goal goes back to Casey Middlestat. All right, we'll now find off to Arvidsson with 90 seconds remaining. Chance for the tie, Zaka, shot, and saved by Montreal. Around the other way to goal, and back to Davidoff again, and back out. Zaka with the swing, and down to a final minute in the third period. He swings it out, and now they're going to get an extra tackler. Back to Lindholm finding Kostelnik. And back to Lindholm. Here's Janae. It's given away. And we'll stop and play with only 46 seconds in the third as they go offside. I love this hustle. After we're with RB Jackeye, he only has one. And then this missed. That just went right from pipe outside. Not a better effort. And he just really almost had that one with the ricochet in the net. He had a good chance, but that one did not get in. That one was disappointment. The fans are watching this one. 46 seconds remaining in the third. 2-1 Montreal. Evans wins. And he just did not have the right response on a shot, and another save by Swayman. 40 seconds to go in the third period. 15:47 over 3:19 time on attack. Habs fans rise. And the win. Now the Boston Bruins will now take the advantage. Goaltender heads to the bench. Here comes Pasternak. Glove save by Montreal. He's really onto a fire range. Just gotta believe it that he just took another save. He's really up to this. Challenging was really effort. He just had to give it all that he got. The win for Boston. Another save by Montreal. Pasternak. Shot. Never stop that save. Behind the cage. Thompson. Touch. Will able to clear the zone. And he scores the empty net. Kirby Dodge will win this game. So that does this for now, and Kirby Dodge only made this deep zone range, and he fires that one and goes with the sling. Well, they will get a win with this point. Just like the rivalry, they now ended off with the victory. Now the win for Elias Lindholm, and now Pasternak will get it. And back to Kiki, and a still extra man attacker is on, and that is going to end. Texture tapes it, and that is it. 3-1, your final score. Habs take over the Bruins after a rival, no problem. Montreal was making it clear afterward. Now, when you make this great save, that's his time for it to shine. And now that's when we give a celebration to the win. Us saluting crowds. It all does for now. We salute and give a good night. What a night this is. And I was going to say, so true. There was a lot of true lenses and big battle royal. That's complete. All we did was complete. We'll see that in the postseason if they keep making advantage at home. So with that being said, along with my broadcast partner, along with Pete and Jackie, and of course, John, I'm so true. Thanks for watching the Habs hockey game. Good night in Montreal. Alright, thanks, So True. With the Habs win, that was the biggest rival attack no one has ever spied the crowd. Time for 3 stars. Jake Evans with only 2 assists and 1 hit. He only makes, with this pass and this rebound, only makes a quick release over to Lane Hudson. Your second star player of the game for the Habs goes to Samuel Montembeault. With only 29 saves, he makes it easy and he just kills it. What a save this effort, and Montembeault had a wonderful game of his night. And your first star is Jeremy Swayman. 41 saves, not bad at all, but it seemed like he could do improvement with that without Linus Ullmark, and that might be why Jeremy Swayman is able to get it good. That's all he has. And with the total statistics, 44 over 30 shots on goal for Montreal, and it was 37 over 20 Boston on the attack on a hit, 1548 time on attack for Montreal over 323. 86% turned out to be the evenly rightness behind 86.9 for Montreal, and a 20 over 18 face-off wins for Montreal. And both teams had 2 minute penalty kills and no power play goals. So that was all it did. That was a roughest game. And talk about this, Montreal has done it again for this season. Yep, we always gotta note that. That's how you win. You cannot mess this out unless you're doing it on your own. Well, as are being said, thank you all so much for watching this part of the rival game of Game 15. The last game will be Detroit Red Wings against the New York Rangers in Motor City of Detroit. With along my broadcast partner, along with Zoe Troop and all the entire crew, and with Terry Crews, I'm Son of Beast. Thanks for watching, and see you all next time for as a while as the NHL 26 gameplay dial. We'll see you all again for the final game of the regular season. And it will be all for nothing. So long, everyone, and good night.
If you don't, somebody will.